Those few days of my life still haunt me, and whenever I think about them, I wince. I normally shop at my favorite apparel store, and I still didn't know why, but I bought some shirts from the guy selling shirts door to door. They were nice, eye-catching shirts for cheap prices. I bought 3 of them. The guy was chanting, "Buy them, and you can never leave them." I was mesmerized by this slogan, and I thought I would look more handsome in them. That day, my girlfriend was very angry and called me to come to the cafe. I was late, so I quickly put on one of those 3 shirts and went there. She looked surprised to see me in that red shirt. "Where did you get it?" She forgot her anger and asked about the shirt. I told her about the seller and apologized for being late. She was surprisingly polite the whole time. I started to feel that everybody was happy with me. Even the passersby were smiling at me. I had worn all 3 shirts, and now they needed to be washed. So I put on another shirt from my wardrobe and went to university. I knew my professor would scold me for not submitting the assignment on time, but he made me leave the class and badly insulted me. That day, everyone was mocking and insulting me. I had never felt so humiliated in my whole life. It was absolute hell for me. I returned home and looked at myself in the mirror. I was looking fine, normal, even handsome. What was the problem? Then, I just looked at those dirty shirts placed in my laundry bucket. My nerves got a current that passed through them. I was wearing those shirts I bought from the guy, and everybody was asking about them. And the past 3 days have been amazing. But when I wore another shirt, my day became hell. What was going on? You can't imagine how terrified I was. I didn't think anything of it and went straight to the dry cleaners. I gave him those shirts and said I needed them quickly. He abused me and pushed me out of the laundry store. My heart was pounding. What was the secret behind these shirts? I returned to my home and washed them by myself since I knew nobody was going to respect me that day. Either it was the shirts or my day was bad. I stayed at home until the shirts got dry. The next day, I wore one of the 3 shirts and went to university. I was so afraid that everyone would insult me again, but surprisingly, everyone was looking at me with admiration. I realized that there was something behind the shirts I bought from the guy, but now I couldn't leave them. I needed to buy more shirts from that guy, or else my life would become hell. I waited for that guy every day. I was wearing those shirts and washing them daily. Everybody was so nice to me, and I started to get irritated. My professor was calling me during lunch. I was getting more and more terrified. I thought to talk to a psychiatrist since I thought it was all in my head. But when I visited the psychiatrist, he kept on praising me, my looks, and my shirt the whole time. I had enough and started staying at home. One afternoon, I was having lunch in my apartment when someone knocked on my door. I saw the shirt salesman standing at my door. I grabbed him by his collar and pushed him onto my floor. I kept punching and kicking him. When I got tired, I sat on the sofa holding my head. "Do you want more shirts?" he said, smiling. I was losing my mind. I hit him again and I shouted, "No, I don't want those stupid shirts. I want a normal life." He kept on smiling and said, "You don't get it. You have to wear these shirts, or else you will be cursed by the whole world." He stood up and walked outside. I was screaming in madness and took off the red shirt I was wearing. I rushed towards my kitchen, put all 3 shirts on the stove, and burned them. I didn't know what would happen after losing those shirts, but I decided that if nothing went right, I would commit suicide. After cleaning up the shirt's ashes, I got dressed and walked outside. Everything looked normal, like before. I took a sigh of relief.